What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the first FPS podcast on the blockchain. No, I'm kidding. I just wanted to get canceled right off the bat and get that out of the way. Just kidding. What's up, everybody? We're live for episode 63, I think. On my left, your right, Blue the Robot. My right, your left, Buff Nerd Gaming. What's up, man?
How's it going? Good to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm always excited for the week. Every Monday. Everyone hates their Mondays. I'm excited to see you guys.
Yeah, this gets me through Mondays, dude. I'm telling you. Thinking everybody showing up in chat. It's like, yeah, I'm enjoying being here and doing this stuff.
Production team hanging out in the back, you know.
Got them going. Yeah, we also got our agents, out there working deals, getting multiple sponsorships. We're broadcasting to multiple channels across YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Kick, everywhere. It's going live, Twitter, and it's just amazing what we're doing here. It's just growing massively.
Get it on D Live next.
Yeah, everywhere, Trovo, whatever. And then you have like our one podcast listener continues to keep re-downloading it on different platforms, like 40 to 50 times
Google,
a week.
Gmail accounts.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. Shout out to the podcast listener for all the re-downloads from the same person. I love that. And yeah, man, it's been fun. Fatherhood's been crazy. Starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm with this sleep schedule and stuff, though.
And then it gets all messed up again.
I'm sure it will. Yeah.
You guys are making it sound like something I shouldn't be doing, but
oh no, you definitely should.
Okay.
See, that's what the jury's still out on that. The jury is still out on that.
I'm excited because he's finally getting into the point where he wants to learn about video games. So
that's what it's
there you go. Perfect.
I'm trying to get my I broke my Discord. Buff, what have you been playing, man?
DMZ. I actually to switch it up a little bit, I did actually play I played some Ghost Recon Wildlands a little bit the other day, and I did a little bit of Far Cry 5 for a tad. But yeah, then I did DMZ.
I remember the Far Cry 5. That's a good game.
I'm definitely looking forward to some Sandstorm here. They got that new update coming along.
I saw that
down the road, which they haven't really revealed much yet, but that'll be coming. I think probably the next 10 to 12 days, the way they typically trickle feed that. So I'm excited to get back into that game. I do miss Sandstorm. I
got that. Earthy Teddy's talking about Buff and Fortnite already. This is going to be.
You guys want to see the stream, eh?
Dude, it's going to be...
Yesterday's stream was actually pre-recorded.
A goal to reach for you to play?
So, we were joking in chat. No, we were just joking in chat. Yes, for whatever reason, because I am who I am, the joke is that secretly I just play and stream Fortnite all the time. So everyone was joking yesterday on the live stream that the stream was actually pre-recorded and I was really playing Fortnite in my free time, which could have been a truth. Who knows?
I already foresee a problem coming down the pipeline, and that is when we talk about the Unreal 5 editor, I'm going to want to actually have a serious conversation about Fortnite, and I don't know if Buff and Chad is going to allow that to happen. So
I will say there's someone just, I guess this is like a quick shot before the quick shot. Someone's already trying to remake the entire old Fortnite map.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like a race, editor. I think there's a few people doing it. But
yeah, and then people are literally making whole new games.
I'm gonna try to convince Buff when we talk about it that it's not that bad and it's actually really cool. And I think I've
actually never played it.
I haven't either, but I've just seen videos of what people are already doing with that editor, and it just take like your preconceived notions of what Fortnite is and looks like and throw it out the window, because it looks like you can literally do anything. There's already people who made Rust that looks it's like Rust in Unreal 5, like super gritty,
crazy
and stuff. Like
really,
I have some videos pulled up that we'll look at in a little bit, but this Unreal 5 editor for Fortnite is crazy. Like I really wish I knew people who were good at it, and or I wish I knew. I would love to make a 5v5 like search and destroy game in the Unreal 5 editor. Around
people were saying remaking Verdansk too was like what I was reading about all over the weekend, and the joke was like, you're gonna see Verdansk Fortnite before you see Verdansk Warzone 2.
I bet somebody makes some Battlefield maps too. I bet we see Zavod and Metro and other stuff come through in there too.
Locker.
Before it gets
yeah, that's a guarantee for sure.
It's wild. I really want to see what people are doing. I wish I knew more about it. I wish I could create something, but I don't know if I got much hard drive space left up here, man. I don't know if I can fit any kind of like coding or modding information in my brain anymore. I think it's pretty full. I might have to get like a second external drive. I don't know how that even works biologically. I don't want to talk about where that would plug into either.
Contact Elon Musk and you can be Neuralink. One of the first people to Neuralink. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Volunteer.
I'll do it. I don't know where Neuralink hooks up either. That's kind of weird too. I don't know.
You'll tell us.
Yeah, he'll tell us. Yeah, maybe I could get ChatGPT 4 to code the game in the editor for me, and I just copy, paste, done. That's all I got to do, right?
Look what I did.
Yeah, and then I take all the credit and royalties. That's the other thing. So whatever you make and people play and stuff, and I think if they purchase anything along the lines of it, you get 40% of the revenue. If you create a game mode and it goes like public and they feature it. Yeah. So like wild. Yeah, we'll talk about it more here in a little bit, but man, there's some huge implications that could come from this, and I want to see what people do with it, and I wish I could do it. Sorry, we're not in the Q&A session, but I have to take this one, Dave. Best whiskey to play Battlefield on, Weller 12-year. That's it, man.
Whoa.
That's my favorite.
Coming in hot.
That's just my favorite. That's my favorite bourbon. So
like you even went specific to the age of it, which is that's impressive. If it were like a Scotch, I would probably give the age too. So I just was not expecting that specific of an answer, Crash.
I'm sorry. That's just my favorite bourbon.
You over delivered, and I like it.
That's right. And that doesn't happen very often. So just soak that in. Doesn't happen very often. I don't even have any back here in my bourbon stash. I don't even have any Weller 12, which is just that.
Sounds like something we're gonna have to change, right, chat?
Yeah. Somebody knows where I could find any. Tell me, DM me. I would love to find some Weller 12. But it is my favorite. So, the other big news on a personal front, Blue the Robot, graduate.
Hello.
He's a smart feller.
Graduated.
He's officially a smarty pants. So
I officially have a degree.
Boy, there it is.
We'll hit the party hall with it. Congrats to Blue. He has the piece of paper that says he's real smart.
Which we already knew.
I did things.
But now he's got the paper to show it.
It's official.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. It was a long time coming.
Yeah, college is something else, man.
Yeah, so the one I went to is just like every day or every month is a new class, and you get it faster.
There you go.
Instead of 4 years, it's 2 years, but it took me 5 years to get it because I switched like
so many
degree programs.
That's
twice.
That's so normal though. That it's like I feel like that's what everyone tells you when you go to school is, the first year is just kind of like you figure it out, and first 2 years almost, and then you kind of like you're in the realm, and then you narrow in like the third and fourth year.
Exactly, and especially what was it like? I had a kid there and all that too. So
you had a lot of shit going on. Especially if you get to a spot where you get a little bit too far in, and then you like come to the realization like, whoops, I actually don't like this.
Exactly. It was like a year and a half of like film school, and I was like, maybe this isn't what I want to be doing.
Yeah, at least you had the wherewithal to realize that and not go down a road you wouldn't have enjoyed.
Exactly.
Yeah. I also think there's a world where college can be a little bit of a scam for people that don't have like a defined career path, and especially
I think it's very noticeable at my university because a lot of people think that they're just gonna get handed jobs, especially with like the degree fields that they have of like music production and film and game design. They think they're gonna go instantly go work for EA or go make the next big Grammy award winning song, and it's just like that's just not how it works, man. You know, there's success in everything you do, and it's just it took me a long time to realize that.
You gotta find your spot, and it ain't easy. And I interview people, like I hire people at where I work, and just interviewing them, and like the expectations I feel like they had going into college to where they have during the interview process. It's like they're kind of coming to that realization that you don't just get handed a job if you have that piece of paper. And for a lot of people, I feel like college isn't necessarily something that you need to have. I have several friends who didn't go to college and are incredibly successful, like going into trades and stuff like that, and are doing really well and don't have all that debt. So I mean,
and that's what I was gonna say
too. Like mine was free too. Sad, luckily, I would say, you know, since the military. But
yeah, that's good.
I mean, I did have to pay for some classes and I failed them, so I got to like I had to pay to retake them. But
cool.
yeah, no, and also, dude, and just and for this is like advice for anyone. It's not about what you know; it's who you know. Sometimes too. The what you know helps with the people that you know, but definitely like getting those like connections with other people and people that are actually there to help support you makes a huge difference in the like university or college experience. Because you could just skate on by and get a degree piece of paper, but then what that piece of paper would end up meaning nothing almost.
I think at schools like that, especially creative type schools, that is one of the big positives of going there.
It's more like a trade school.
Is the collaboration and meeting people and networking though early, is one of those things that's really huge for a school like that. I feel like, but other than that, like I think when Mini Crash gets old enough to choose his path, man, I don't think it's gonna be for me. He's not gonna get from me the traditional. You got to go to college.
No,
it's gonna be
I mean, my son saw me, you know, walk, which is really cool, and
that's awesome.
You know, I'm not gonna force it on him either. You know,
because
whatever your path leads.
Yeah, there's successful paths. I feel like, especially these days, that do not involve college, and then also like I don't know. I could go on a tangent, but in a nutshell, I was also kind of pushed towards going to grad school in my field of biology is what my degree's in. And I would have gotten essentially a job on the exact same pay scale I have now, but I would have been however many 2 years of grad school in debt more. I just paid off and I would have been in the same, working for the same agency in the same job. And like, it made no sense. And I almost went down that path and I'm thankful that I didn't. So just pay attention, look at your future, and see what's best for you.
You're not going to know what your future is at 18, 19 years old either.
Yeah.
There's no way. I don't care who you are. Like,
this is actually like a good intro topic because we do have a lot of the younger people in chat who aren't in college yet, for sure. And that's one thing that, you know, when I went to school and got out of school, because I went to college for web development and administration, which I got that degree, had one or two web development jobs, realized like it was just like boring and dumb and nobody was really hiring how I wanted it. So like I got a job in the IT field, which was stuff that I had kind of done throughout school and did some training. And then you just pivot your career, learn, you know, you always got to be willing to learn outside of school. It doesn't just stop there. And then,
exactly.
You know, everything worked out for the best. And I ended up doing pretty damn well for myself. So, and I'm not doing any development or coding whatsoever anymore. It went right up to management. So what you go into school for, you may not even ever use essentially, but it's really school's there to like teach you how to learn and be self-sufficient. So you can do those things when you need to and pivot and learn more and be successful.
That's what I got the most out of college was it taught me to teach myself stuff. Because a lot of the professors and things would kind of show you the brief overview, but to pass the exams, you would have to study and learn the stuff on your own. And it taught me that because I'm in a different field too. Like my degree's in wildlife biology, but I actually am in like earth sciences, physical sciences, and hydrology where I work now. So it's like a different shift. So I had to learn kind of a different science, but it's college. I mean, can be a scam. And I would say like community college is a good idea to kind of figure out where you want to go. And I feel like
definitely
taking a year or two after high school and working and saving up some money and figuring out your career path before you start is really smart, because the longer you're in college without a straightened path, you're racking up a ton of debt, man, and you're not getting towards your goals.
My wife now works for the financial aid department at the university, and she's getting a lot of behind the scenes of like tons of grants and scholarships that are up for grabs that they don't say, but they're out there. Like, you need to go and like look for them and ask, because there's definitely free money out there for university here, even in America, for sure.
I just paid off my student loans like 6 months ago, so that's pretty proud of that. That was
nice.
Yeah, just in time for him to forgive him anyway. So
yeah,
cool for me. Dude,
good job being responsible, Crash.
Yeah, that's me being stupid. I'm even wearing a bourbon shirt from.
I love
it's
it. Man.
All the master distillers on my shirt from Buffalo Trace Distillery, man. I'm even
epic.
Man, I'm all whiskeyed out of my mind right now.
You need some whiskey, obviously.
It keeps me motivated in the gym.
You know what? I did go to this really cool bar actually for graduation and stuff like that, and it was like a Halloween themed inside one, because they also had like Stranger Things and the Addams Family and stuff like that. But then in the back, it almost felt like a Dungeons and Dragons tavern, that the only way it was open, first you gotta like reserve a spot, and then once an elf lady walks out and like presses certain symbols on the door that glow, and then the door opens up, and then inside is a mixologist that you don't even have to tell him, like what you can ask him what you want specifically, but then you could be like, oh, like I gave him a prompt of like, what would this is a drink that Luke Skywalker would drink with his aunts and uncle. And that's all I gave him, and he made this really cool, like really good tasting drink actually.
That's awesome.
And then another person was asking, my wife asked, what would Captain Kirk drink if he was on vacation? And then you would go from there, and of course he had this whole story of he was a werewolf because he had like contacts in. He's like, yeah, I've been a werewolf for just cleaning his mug. I've been a werewolf for 287 years today, stuff like that. Just he had to like be immersed in it. But the drinks are really good actually, and there was like butterbeer shots too that like did not taste like anything inside, and
that's where it was really
it was
you get in trouble with that. You should have said,
but I was definitely, it was a good drinking night.
Yeah, they would. What if you said like, what would Crash drink on the Scope podcast, and it's just a cup of bourbon? Like, here you go.
On the rocks. That's it.
Yeah. So my favorite drink, you mix bourbon with a cup, and then
there's some air on top.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I guess we should probably talk about FPS games. I don't know.
I guess.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, we are newly live on Blue's channel. So if you're fairly new to the podcast, how things work around here is there is a link floating around that you can click on and then choose, as Molder Factor saying in my chat. We are on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple, basically all of it. Amazon Music now. If you guys want an audio only version, if you're out on the go, that is available. So click that link and then you can choose your platform from that link. So that's available to you guys. I try to get it up the next day. And then also chat is on screen. So even though we are on a variety of channels, the mixed chat should be popping up on screen. So when people watch the VOD back on our respective channels, they can see what you guys are saying. We definitely value your opinion. Always read chat. Really appreciate the content and value that you guys add. So keep chatting, keep commenting on everything. We really, really like that. And if you're so inclined and want to like the stream on the respective channel you're watching on, that helps a lot too. As well as if you do want to support the podcast, we really don't ask for anything money or financially wise. It's essentially we go by be a friend, tell a friend. Just bring more people in when you come next week and come hang out with us, and we'll continue to grow and get cool guests and cool content.
That's the best way.
Yep, and have fun. So yeah, keep your guys' money. The economy is tough. Times are tough and money's hard to come by. So just bring someone along with you. Bring a friend. Send a link wherever. Retweet us. Whatever, that helps a ton, and we appreciate it so much. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, I made a video on my channel that I knew would do terrible, but I was so excited about the video itself, I wanted to do it anyway. I just made a Crash Reacts video. I did my best Asmongold impression and tried to watch this video because it was crazy. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to check out the original video.
I saw it before you posted it, and it was, oh man. We were even talking about it like the day before I graduated, like in class.
Dude, it went from like, that video took me from the lowest of lows to like the highest of highs. Like I went all over the place. I learned like how much worse cheating is than I thought potentially, to, oh, we might have like a way to fix this thing. So maybe, did you get a chance to see it at all, Buff?
Yeah, I did watch a little bit of it, and
the original one.
Definitely pretty sweet.
Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff, and I want to talk about like some of the ramifications and things like that, because there was some sketchy stuff in there too, about the AI learning and creating a biometric profile of the player that could follow you from games if you try to download it again. Dude. They have a profile of how you play, your timing at a pixel level, and how you interact with the game. It also monitors like your fatigue and stuff, and how you change over time when you're playing.
Damn.
All kinds of metrics and measurements. So it's crazy.
The future.
I guess the bad news first. They deduced and thought that there was like 1 in 3 people cheating, and when they think cheaters, they're saying not necessarily like the Walls, aimbot, rage hackers that some of you guys have seen. Those are really not the problem. It's this new AI, and it's kind of like an arms race between AI. You have AI chasing AI, and what it is
yeah, it really is.
It's an AI that watches your screen and interfaces with your input and gives you as strong of aim assist as you want. So it's these little corrections. And good. What it does is too, it also has a humanized slider. So you can put error into it so you can't see it on the screen. So somebody watching you can't tell it with the human eye.
Show me your task manager.
Yeah, task manager. But it even can run on a separate machine, so that wouldn't even work.
That's true too. Yeah, I did see that.
It
I was watching Linus Tech Tips talk about it recently too.
Yeah, it's really sad. And then it got into like the whole dynamic of why people cheat, and like like how people are starting to rationalize it and realize that there's so many people cheating. I'm getting older. Maybe I need just a little help. And they see this cheat as like just a little help, right? It's not like a full out aim bot. It's like a super strong aim assist that can help you, lock onto targets and stuff. And it works on console too.
Yeah.
It works essentially like Google Stadia and stuff. And it's just like, dude,
it's gonna be like that and coming up in the future. And then you start thinking of like Doc's game with NFTs that cost over $100,000 in the game. People are definitely gonna be using things like this to get that money.
Has it been bad in DMZ, Buff?
Yeah, I think since season 2 Reloaded, it's been pretty bad, specifically on like Ashika Island. It was terrible the past like
blatant cheaters, or more like it just seems kind of suspicious.
No, there's definitely blatant cheaters, and then there's so what's been happening is like we'll run into like the blatant cheaters with like the basically like the flash hacks where they're like speed zooming around and like snap, and then you'll have really suspicious stuff where you're looking at, like there was a couple times yesterday during the stream where like you're like, how did that was just like a really weird engagement. And one of the guys actually came into my stream was like, oh man, GG's, like blah blah, and I was like, oh, we figured out like he wasn't cheating, but it was just like we were so suspicious because we were just
so hard nowadays to tell.
Yeah, exactly, especially when you're running into the hard hackers, and then you also we'll have kill cams where like people are clearly watching you through walls. There was one, I don't know if you caught it, Chris. There was one team that was walling hard and aimbot, and like they chased me around the map, and like I was on a roof. They were on a jet ski. Dude jumped off the jet ski, pre-aimed, and domed me in the head. like, and I was on a roof, and like, there was no way they would have known that there's no UAV. There's just a lot, and they cheated
And like
and
footsteps
killed my
aren't
team.
that great.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot for sure since season 2 Reloaded. So I'm hoping, whether it's AI or this amazing Ricochet anti-cheat, they do something. But yeah, it's been pretty bad. Definitely get a little frustrated for sure.
Yeah, so they were saying based on their data, this anybrain.gg, I can pull it up here. So you guys can see like their website. This is out. Developers can use this. Developers can work with these guys and get this incorporated in their game. There are a few games that are using it. They were under NDA, so they weren't allowed to say which ones, which makes sense. You don't really want the cheaters knowing what they're up against. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So they were saying based on their data, they were guessing around 30% of people are using some kind of soft correction or cheat of some kind. And it was just amazing to me the questions that these guys were answering. The video's done by Basically Homeless, so a large creator that makes really good content. So if you guys just want to check it out at some point, just type in Basically Homeless AI anti-cheat, and I'm sure it's the first thing that can come up. They're also working on something too that we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. But the other shot that he kind of made, man, he sent one across the bow, and in his video saying that cheating is a huge monetary industry, and that developers technically make money when they get banned and buy new accounts. So there could be a reason that they're not using this. He basically strongly insinuated that developers may not be as hard on cheaters because they make money like when they buy new accounts, and there's a financial gain. Like he stuck that in there. I see that more in the AAA space, because based on like the massive amount of Call of Duty sales and stuff, like little tweaks to their store and their engagement algorithm and stuff can change millions of dollars. I don't see indie developers being like this at all. I feel like indie developers, care about their game and want the integrity to be as best as possible, want cheaters out of there. Again, I think the vast majority of developers also want cheaters out of there. It's going to be, with the larger companies, it's going to be like the cost to reward. Like if we spend a whole bunch of time on getting an AI anti-cheat and the money and the infrastructure to support that and the processing power to support that, does it change our bottom line? Probably not. They're still going to make about the same amount of money, I feel like. So
the bigger ones, no.
The bigger games, that's what I mean.
Smaller games, that's what I'm worried about. I don't
know. But
we're in a whole new generation now.
It's different, man. It's getting different. And the cheats are AI. Now the anti-cheats are potentially AI, but the guys, and of course the caveat is it's their business, in the interview when he was talking with Basically Homeless, and they were saying that it can detect all that stuff in as little as 5 minutes because it's looking at your gameplay down to the pixel level. So even if the AI anti-cheat has a humanization slider, so you can turn it up to make it look more human. And the example they showed, they played a match of CSGO and one of them was using it and you had to try to tell, and I guessed wrong. The guy that was actually cheating, his crosshair would go past the person and then correct, and it looked like legit arm aiming. So like when you're arm aiming with the mouse, you do the larger movement with your elbow, and then you fine tune with your wrist. And that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like he went past it and then he wrist.
It just locked right on.
It didn't lock right on. It looked like he wrist corrected and came back. So like that is built into the cheats now. But this is saying it's locking back on the similar pixel, the same pixel, even though the reaction time looks okay. It looks at the probability of you pulling off an awesome shot over and over. And if you're consistently doing it the same, it can flag you as a cheater, and it can catch those cheats. It knows how they work, I guess, and can catch them on a pixel level.
Yeah, it really is AI trying to catch AI at this point.
It's learning it, yeah. And the cat and mouse game is no longer like cheater developer versus game developers. It's like AI versus AI in the cheat game. The other thing...
Oh, this is some cyberpunk shit, dude. Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
And so the other thing I wanted to get your guys' opinion on is, I mean, if you want to go like crazy overboard, it's almost like the Patriot Act in Congress, right? On how much information are we willing to give up of our own to have a cheat-free game? Because
There's definitely those what's the big, is it PUBG that does it? That like, or like not infiltrates your PC, but they're definitely
Valorant.
Isn't it Valorant? Valorant, right?
Is it Valorant? Yeah. Where like how much information on your PC are you willing to give up in order to combat hackers and cheaters? Now, even same thing for the Patriot Act. There's good parts of it and then there's bad parts of it. And I feel like even here, there's going to be a good part that, okay, you get all this data and information that can help you. But, you know, I'm just a gamer. I'm not someone who knows all about these, you know, operating systems behind the scenes and whatnot. But it's, man, it's tough to say because I want to say yes to it because it's going to help out the whole entire game experience. But then I don't want a third party system really digging that deep into the game files on my personal computer.
Well, this isn't,
and then with AI, it's scarier.
It's weirder.
Like. Yeah,
because
I don't understand it.
Yeah, so that what the AI does, and I should say this because Kiwi's saying like we shouldn't have kernel level and anti-cheat, and that's definitely a valid opinion. This doesn't do that. It still operates in game. However, it creates a biometric profile of the player. So it monitors and learns how you play, your speed, your reaction time, how you move your cursor, how you move your mouse, your controller, and it makes a profile of you. Everyone plays games just a little bit differently, and they said it is essentially as accurate as a fingerprint. So then it has a profile of you, how you play. And if you go and try to cheat and play and do stuff in other games, it will ban you. Like even if you can hardware ID spoof, even if you can IP spoof and you've been banned, you can circumvent that.
See, then what if you like
knows
change
how
your
you
style?
Play. But it's
what if like for different games you play differently?
But is it like handwriting? Like where you're, you know, the handwriting experts can still tell like if you try to change, like I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Like,
but are you
the robot tap on the "I am not a robot" prompt? That's what it feels like right now.
Yeah. So I mean, to have AI anti-cheat work, are you willing to have it develop like a profile on you of how you play? Is essentially
and it's monitoring you also. So
it's watching how you play the game. How
is it gonna be so that? But it's only when you're on the game. And this is if would different games talk to each other of like that biometric system, you know?
I'm guessing it would have to be across games that use this anybrain.gg anti-cheat.
Because then that would have companies work together as well too in order to extend the information out towards each other.
Right.
I feel like I mean there's still human input behind it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I've always felt like if you're, and I think we've talked about it before, you know, if you're playing these types of games, you should have, you know, if you're going to play, should acknowledge and accept the terms. And this would just be part of those terms, you know, whether it's this or what was it back in the day? It was, what was the anti-cheat that we always saw back in like the old, it was
Punk Buster,
yeah, and you would have to accept the terms, all that stuff. Just because
never read them.
Yeah, me neither. But the cheating's just been so out of hand the past couple of years. I feel it's just we're at a point where, well, I mean, you said in the beginning, Chris, like people can justify it now. Though, like you can talk, people will justify it and think that there's nothing wrong with it because. Exactly like you said, other people are doing it. I'm getting older. I don't play as much. So when I play, I want to have fun because it's the skill-based matchmaking. So you can say whatever you want to make yourself feel better about it. And that's what's annoying.
Like people who go out and try to feel good about hacking.
Yeah, it's just like it's just so weird because if you
like you're ruining the experience for someone else because you don't want to. I mean, I get. Even as parents and stuff like that, and work and stuff like that, we don't have the time to get to learn how to play those games every day. I'm not gonna go out of my way to download some sketchy hacks from a website I've never heard of, because I've seen those websites before and they all look the same. They all look very, very sketchy.
Yeah.
In fact, I mean, just a quick caveat, one of my thumbnails was used for Crows out of all games to advertise for hacks. And it had my little logo on it. So I had to go into their Discord to talk to the people who were running the hacks. And I saw like a little bit into that world. And I mean, any game you can think of, there's hacks. It's crazy how easy it is to just install on your PC.
Yep.
And that's the thing I hate is when people justify it. It's absolutely intellectual fraud where you try to justify it. You try to,
and I'll be honest,
you try to say, you
every
try to
single one of those hackers.
Yeah, I hate that shit so much. Where they try to they justify it and think they're not doing anything wrong, and they try to make it sound like they're in the right for cheating.
Yeah,
and it's
if they do that for video games, imagine what they do that for other parts in their lives.
Oh, I know, dude.
Well, I mean, they would. That's the thing. That's where it's like weird. Is like that's like a whole nother discussion. It's like participation trophies. I mean, that's what you get, right? For other parts of their life. The problem is like when you're cheating in a video game, like that's in some I guess aspect of it, like that's really all you probably have. So like
you're a piece of shit.
I feel bad for like your life is so pathetic that you have to, feel good about. The only way to feel good about yourself is in a video game. And at the end of the day, you can justify it all you want, but I mean, you're seeing the other players like through walls or get an assist with the aiming to a point where you're not needing to even really do it yourself. That's messed up. So I mean, you can justify it all you want, but if someone's life is really that freaking bad and that's the only joy they get, I mean, so be it. But hopefully the AI will find your ass and ruin that for you too.
my so be it thing is, if you're going to be a piece of shit, call a spade and recognize yourself as a piece of shit. Don't try to justify it and say you're in the right because other people are doing it.
Everyone else is hacking, so why can't I? Conversation.
If you're going to be a piece of shit, man. I can't stop you, but at least call a spade and recognize yourself as a piece of shit. That's what I'm saying. The other thing is on this, along the lines of you were talking about, trying to justify it. In a perfect world where something like this would work, one of the biggest problems is, you don't get matched up against people of your same skill all the time because of Smurfs, and this is bigger in Rainbow Six.
Yeah. But it used to happen all the time. Also, I mean, it wasn't there. I don't think there was SPMM in Battlefield 3, but Smurf accounts were always a thing.
Yeah.
I ran into them a lot.
This would be really good at Smurf detection, I feel like, and they talk about it. They talk about why Smurfs are bad, and essentially, real quick, what Smurfs are is like just a really easy, quick example. People would buy new Rainbow Six accounts when they're on sale so they could play in the lower ranks. So they could have an account where they could go in. A lot of them would just go in and get a bunch of kills and then like leave the match, so they would still lose in D rank and stay in those lower ranks so they could play against bad people. This would detect how you played and detect that you were the same person that has this account that's like, diamond or platinum or whatever, and could ban you, because Smurfing is against the TOS in Rainbow Six. People do it a lot anyway, have alternate accounts so they can stay at lower ranks and farm kills and stuff. This also says it has age verification through behavior biometrics, which is kind of weird.
Wow, that's a little scary.
Yeah, I can see if you're old enough to be playing the game.
That's interesting.
Based on biometrics and stuff like that.
If that was there in the 90s, I wouldn't be playing a lot of games.
There's also like the question is like, okay, if we accept this type of technology for our video games, then where does the line get drawn?
Exactly.
Right? So
it goes that way too.
Yeah. It starts with video games and it moves on to your everyday life, and that's That's when it gets really scary.
And that's how we get Skynet, ladies and gentlemen, and we're all dead. Okay.
I am fully aware that it's going to happen and probably happen fast. That it's going to use that to detect where you go, what you do, and your behavioral mechanics to serve you the right kind of ads and stuff at the right times. And like,
so people are going to have to use voice changers.
And that's already happening now. You ever talk about something with your phone will be around and you're like, yeah, I really, want to, and then all of a sudden you're getting ads, so, but for all the cheaters out there, just remember, when Skynet comes around, this is your fault.
It's your fault.
Your fault.
Where's your hacks now?
Yeah.
Where's your aimbot now?
And we're going to be fighting the machines while you hide. Okay.
Yeah.
And the machines got aimbot now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be, and then the hackers are going to be nowhere to be found when we're having to fighting off these machines, iRobot style. And it's their fault we have them. I hope you're happy. All right. So anyway, that's what's going on with AI anti-cheat. Honestly, I am blinded by a hatred for cheaters so much that I'm all about it. Get it in every game. Start finding these people.
Yeah, I'm for it too. Even just, like what kind of what Valorant has, just there has to be.
I want to see it in I want to see it in the industry and in public for a little bit and kind of go off of that.
But
I don't want to say yes or no right now. I want to say yes because again, I hate cheaters, but I also want to. I want to see more like public tests.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, what basically Homeless is also working on with some developers on his own. That I'm glad you brought that up. That I wanted to talk about is Waldo Vision. And it's in a learning stage right now, and I would love to get one of the developers from this to come on the show and talk about it a little bit. So Waldo Vision is what they're using, and it's in a learning process right now. So you can upload, basically you tag YouTube clips of gameplay, and it's in a learning stage right now of what like gameplay and stuff looks like. So you can go to waldo.vision, and what they're working on is, I believe, and I will correct next week if I'm wrong or something, but what I think they're doing is where you can, if you have some gameplay recorded of a cheater, like a match replay or whatever in Rainbow Six, or if you DVR your matches and stuff and somebody looks sus in the kill cam, you can upload it into this and it will tell you if they're cheating or not.
That's pretty cool.
So it's like your own AI anti-cheat that you can submit gameplay to, and it'll come back and tell you like the likelihood or if they're cheating or not. So, that's what
I'm curious with that is because there's a lot of like, look at Call of Duty for example. So this is the one. Let's say if you go off a lot of the what's out there, gameplay clips, etc. A lot of like the CoD creators that get invited to these things, a lot of people suspect are cheating. No idea if they are or aren't, but let's say you hear a lot of things like the Infinity Ward, Activision, they know these people are cheating, but they're such big personalities that they're promoting the game. So if that were true, I'm not saying it is, but if that were something that's true, right? What are you going to do when your top, let's say your top creators are all cheating and that ends up being exposed? Like with this Waldo Vision,
I can't wait to talk about that on the podcast.
Start plugging in streaming clips, and you see some of these top personalities that everyone suspects maybe are or aren't. So I don't know if that's like, who knows if that's actually what's happening because they haven't been caught or anything. But if for whatever reason Activision knew they were cheating and because they're so they're not going to do anything about it, this could be well, have to see what happens with it. I mean, Activision could say, yeah, we're not implementing it into our games because our anti-cheat is better,
Yeah, or like it's this, they're not going to take that evidence.
Right. Like they with Call of Duty, for example, they do it with like Tarkov too. We've seen they can, for streamers, they keep track of those COD creators and streamers, and if somebody gets a ban or something, it's just like a line of code, or they can whitelist that person's account. So I think that stuff has already come out, right? So that you can whitelist certain account names, and I think the code's been shown. So if you're getting reported, now that's kind of like from a streamer mode perspective, right? If you just like hate this streamer, you're just going to report the hell out of them. that's probably what that's there for. But if you put on your tinfoil hat, which I know Crash has somewhere there.
Damn it.
We were just talking about it.
Yeah. But no, it'll be cool. I just wanted to throw that little last bit out there.
Before next year, we need to get those
I will
hats
have
made.
one.
Yeah, we do.
We were about 10 minutes from going live, and I'm like, dude, should I just go get some tinfoil, make a hat real? I
almost. That's okay. Next time we'll be talking about this a lot more, I'm sure.
Epic fail. But yeah, so keep an eye on Wall Division. If you guys are interested, if the audience is interested, leave some feedback.
Keep looking into it for sure.
Because I would potentially like to maybe talk to one of these folks that is more knowledgeable about it, get an expert in here and kind of teach us some stuff, because I'm hopeful.
If that's I think more games need kill cam features as well too.
If that's Tarkov for sure.
Yeah, Tarkov could definitely.
The
D-Sync's so bad there, who knows? Right?
That would look weird. That's exactly what would happen, and it would really expose the netcode in that game, I feel like, because sometimes you see that in Siege, like, because those gunfights are like milliseconds.
Wall will take that into effect?
I don't know. I would think
it's deep learning AI. I mean, yeah.
So I've been hearing from all these videos that AI is essentially God reincarnated. So yeah, I would say that it would be able to find it. It would tell the difference between desync and cheats. I don't know. I think it probably would.
I would assume so. It'd probably be monitoring like the server.
I'm just seeing all this positive content about AI. So I'm kind of like, AI can do anything anti-cheat wise. So I'm all about it.
Yeah,
I'm fired up. So I would say it probably could check desync, but you're 100% right. Like, in Rainbow Six Siege, when some of those gunfights are down to milliseconds and one shots and stuff, and you're holding an angle and then you die, and then you watch the kill cam shows what the server sees, and that person leaned and had like a whole half second to see your head and shoot you, and it's like, that didn't look anything. So yeah, I get that, and I think if that was in Tarkov, like if you had match replay and stuff in Tarkov or raid replay, I think it would show some crazy desyncs. I think it would expose it. Like, it would be wild.
We'll just have to keep an eye on it, and
it has potential, and we'll keep an eye on it. That's literally, we're joking. That's like the catchphrase of this entire news show, man.
It really is.
We say that at the end of every story.
Every topic.
It has potential, and we'll keep an eye on it. If we ever have the scope merch, it's 100% going to say that on it. It has potential.
100%.
And we'll keep an eye on it. Buff's chomping at the bit. Guys, I don't know how we're going to get through this. But I want to talk about Fortnite's Unreal 5 editor. This is going to be a struggle.
It's not just specifically Fortnite. I mean, it definitely.
That's the client that you use to use it. But I did. We can show this clip online and talk about some of the state of Unreal and some of the stuff that they showed for the Unreal 5 engine, just straight up Unreal 5. It was absolutely crazy. They showed a forest scene with a vehicle driving through, and like all the rigging and like the chaos on like the rocks flipping and the lighting and stuff, and it looked like a real image. How far are we? Yeah, game over. That's Unreal. I got this.
There it is.
So yeah, it looks like a video, and I don't know how far we are from being able to get this into a game, or if this is like pre-rendered stuff. But essentially, I thought the guy was actually controlling it real time, so it wasn't like pre-rendered. It looks crazy.
It was pre-rendered. It was like an editor, like a video editor within Unreal. And
so this isn't like
I'm going to be using that as much as I can.
Yeah, he's playing it there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing at certain parts, but like in the beginning, I remember like it was showcasing the editor of like the fish when he was like the explosion in the background kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but as for the tech demo itself, it
looks pretty real.
The level, I originally went into game design because of that, and for level editing, and oh my god, the tools that make it so much easier, and that it like when they showcased when it was like what was actually handmade compared to what was made with their new like level tool. I was like, no way, dude. And it like and you can change the paths and dude, everything about
I saw
it was so
I
cool.
saw that. Yeah, so like it had the river in the world, and then they just clicked like where they wanted the creek to go, and it basically AI rendered in every like all the vegetation, the rocks, and everything were just done
little
for
log
you.
bridges, and then if you move it over to the left, it'll be man.
Yeah, and they put like that big like rock tower in the middle, and it made everything around it just fit into the world, and it's showing like the subspectral stuff on here, and like on this image right here, sorry podcast listener, like the mud and dirt on the tires is what was freaking me out. Like it looks like a picture like of a tire after you've driven in mud. Like I couldn't tell the difference between that and a picture. So I don't know how far we are from seeing games that look like this, but hopefully not long, even like from single player stuff. I don't know how much power this takes.
I still think we still got a minute until we start seeing, especially for like us FPS multiplayer guys. We definitely have a minute until we start seeing that, because you start running into server side issues and stuff like that. As great as it would be for single player games, or again with tech demos mainly, I think it'll be a while until we see that come to AAA or just the standard gaming industry.
Oh yeah, imagine this in VR, man. It's so crazy.
I would throw up, I feel like. I just
maybe,
and also Trinidad brings up a good point, like the tech, I mean, they were saying, I think they said at the end of the tech demo like what the system was running on and stuff like that, and it was like a 3080 3090 possibly was like the graphics card that I was running on, and I'm still running a 20 series. I know a lot of people are still running 10 series.
Yeah, this is the video where they just added the rock outcropping in the middle.
Wow.
And it filled in like everything else.
Everything
That's
around
amazing.
it. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I mean also, I mean, the machine that needs to be running that in order to like quickly run that, like if I run that on my computer right now, it would sound like a jet engine. It would make my room a sauna, I feel like it would. It was just and then it's also rendering everything at real time as well too, including trees behind and different pathways. Like
it's nuts.
It's cool, but I don't know if it's ready yet for gaming. It looks cool,
but maybe if like studios can use this to run and build stuff. I'm just wanting. I feel like we're in a moment right now where developers are getting better and better tools, at least at a AAA space, and we're getting less and less content. So I'm confused as to why that's a thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just like the inflation, the price jumps and stuff after COVID and everything. Like the limitations for the different technology, like the graphics card computers, you couldn't even get a hold of stuff for a while. Plus technology, like, I mean, it used to be every 18 months, but it's definitely less than that now. So technology doubles every 18 months or less at this point today. So, I mean, you look at something like this, by 2027, 28, give it 5 years, 4 or 5 years, I think we'll be a lot closer to this. Just like the discussion we were having with the VR last episode. I mean, take that and this hand in hand, 5 years down the road, I think we're going to see some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Within time, it'll everything around gaming would be, because then this also brings up like, okay, so if Unreal Engine is doing all this, what's Unity doing?
Right.
It's where all Buff's V-Bucks went. All Buff's V-Bucks went to Unreal, and he spent them in a good place. Shout out to everyone that spent V-Bucks, man. This is where it went. It went to a good cause.
I mean, to be honest, like, yeah, for sure. I mean, you can't fault Unreal and the team at Fortnite for what they're doing at all. Like, originally it started off as like, because I don't know if anyone remembers how originally it was like a zombie survival game, then turned battle royale, then turned into this amazing engine editor now. So it's just like, it's crazy the amount of work that has gone into it. I'm excited to get behind it as well too, like work in UE5. I definitely, especially seeing the video, like the editor, the real-time rendering. I want to use that for like games of like making cutscenes in the game and putting that in a video or something like that. I think that'd be so cool to to incorporate that, because I know people that do that now, using UE4.
Yeah. So beyond the professional tools, they also did add stuff to Fortnite itself. And essentially, well, I guess one more professional tool I saw was really cool. They had the actor that played the lady in Senua's Saga or Hellblade, and they have a character animator where she had an iPhone and she acted out a scene on her face, and it took about 3 minutes, and it rendered it into her character like all perfect.
Oh wow!
Like in Unreal,
cool.
It was crazy. So they got that. Hopefully, these tools are just going to help games get better with more content and out faster, not being delayed all the time. So for what people can use now, though, is the Unreal Editor for Fortnite has been out, and I know a lot of you will scoff at it because it's Fortnite and how Fortnite looks, and it's generally targeted for kids, I feel like, and I totally get that. But you can literally make anything that you can make in Unreal in Fortnite now, and there's an editor you can do
that
on
level
PC.
Did not look for kids. It looked real. It looked like
so. I'm gonna pull that up.
I'm
gonna pull that up. People have already been making stuff like this is game changing for FPS games. I don't care what your thoughts are on Fortnite. This is crazy what people can do. This is a Fortnite map. It looks like a new Call of Duty map, and the only thing that you could tell it was Fortnite is the characters, but everything else, this looks insane, and this was made in Fortnite's Unreal Editor. The cool part about it is anybody with the PC can play with this, and then when you push it out to the servers, people with a Fortnite client can play on it, on any console, on a mobile phone.
Wow.
You can play on it.
That fish
And it's just freaking crazy, man. And people have already been making Rust, and it's like Rust in Unreal 5. It looks really good.
That looks pretty sick, honestly.
And I'm just over here like Blue is saying that he can make games and stuff in Unreal. Let's make a 5v5 bomb mode, S&D mode in Fortnite editor, and we can balance it how we want, so it's like competitive and like make a bunch of cool gritty dark maps.
Gritty Fortnite. Let's get it.
Gritty Fortnite.
Could you do that, Blue? Only, can you make HUD. That? Can you make that for me?
I'm already on it.
Good.
And honestly, like I definitely want to work in it more.
I expect a playable test by next podcast.
Next podcast.
You got 1 week.
It's just blocks moving around the screen.
How's this? It looks good.
Perfect.
But yeah, Jack Frags did a video. There's a dirt bike race thing that looks super realistic. It showed a dirt bike racing across like sand dunes and doing backflips and stuff. It looked super realistic. There's one with like a dragon in a shadow or in like shadows and stuff in a forest. It looks nothing like Fortnite. And there's already rumors of people building Call of Duty maps. There's rumors of people building Verdansk.
Yep.
There's rumors of people. There's like a race of people building the first Fortnite map. So
I'm
that's a thing
to see all that. That'll be really cool.
And it looks so crazy. And I wish I knew how to do stuff in Unreal. And I would love to help a group of people make a bomb game, like an S&D game that's balanced competitively without all the spam
some
crap.
level editing, some level design. That's the most I've done. More like setting up scenes. But I haven't like sat and made it like a playable demo of anything. So
yeah.
I just like if I got into that field, I just want to make stuff look cool. I'll leave all the mechanics and making stuff work up to other more smarter people, because that includes a lot more coding and editing that I don't know of. So
yeah.
But Unreal is definitely making it easier for. I mean, Unreal's I feel like has always been on the forefront of like helping people make video games.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what people do.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the other look at everyone that's making video games now. You know, Blue Drake, Big Fry, like it's making YouTubers make video games. And that's Unreal Engine 4. Now, I mean, I know it takes a lot to get. I know people who are like started, and that's the horrible part. I feel like, in my opinion, not the horrible part, but it's like it sucks because people started on Unreal Engine 4 trying to switch over to UE5. I heard there's some issues. Again, I don't know everything about it. I just like the level editing myself.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah, it's crazy. I was just looking through some of the stuff people are making. I want to show I want to show the one from the Jack Frags video to Buff. It's the one that looks like Rust.
Yeah, I saw screenshots of Rust and it looked amazing. I was really impressed. That's where I think you're gonna see, like we talked about, like seeing the battlefield maps and everything like that get remade.
Man.
Yeah, so this is Jack Frags playing Domination on Rust. That was built in the game. And in Fortnite.
Sorry, audio listeners.
Yep, sorry. Just imagine what Rust looks like with really good graphics and a Fortnite John Wick running around.
Yeah, I mean the graphics of the map. That's what I'm impressed just with the tech demo. They should probably. I mean the particle effects, the light, everything looks amazing.
Yeah,
you could plug this into. You could tell me. I mean, this looks
like if someone just showcased the map itself,
it looks
without the Fortnite characters, you would have thought it was a completely new Call of Duty of some sort. Or,
if you didn't have the Fortnite characters on there to give it away in the HUD and stuff, and somebody said the next Call of Duty on Unreal 5 engine leaked, the map leaked, and it showed this, you'd be like, oh shit, yeah, it did. That looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, it looks really good.
So
looks
anyway,
very nice.
The Unreal map editor has a lot of potential, and we'll keep our eye on it.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on it, guys, and we'll let you know. A lot of potential there.
It's got potential.
I want somebody smart to help me make a S&D game that I give balance.
Hey, I got a buddy of mine in my chat. Apparently, he says he's got the code on his side. So maybe I'll put my level editing together. He'll put the coding, and we'll see. Maybe
I will help you balance.
We'll be the next. We'll be the next YouTube duo.
I'll help you.
Game.
I'll help you with map design that's competitive and also game balance, so it's fun. And it's about skill. It's about skill and not spammable, stupid participation trophies.
He's taking this to heart.
Man, I'm ready. I want to make a game, man, and I don't have time to learn that stuff because I'm too old. My brain's full. But I want to. So I might look into it. But if anybody wants my opinion or whatever, I'm not good for much, but I feel like I could give you some good directions. All right. The next thing that we should talk about. It's got the community split. We've already had some talk in chat, even before we got here, about CounterStrike 2. Is this a big enough update to keep people happy? Is it not a big enough update? Is it a letdown? Is it great? Where are you guys at on this? Is it enough to call it CounterStrike 2, call it a new game? Or do you want some more information?
CounterStrike remastered, in my opinion.
Where are you at on that?
Seems like Counter-Strike 1 point whatever, but I mean, I never played the original, so I'm not going to pretend to be the expert on it.
Yeah, exactly. No. I played a little bit of CSGO. I remember playing CS, 1.7 or something back in the day, whatever it was. I don't know what it was, but back on my dad's computer that totally ran it fine. Yeah, Counter-Strike is Counter-Strike. You can't change those mechanics because then it wouldn't be Counter-Strike. As for the map, looks great. It's a good Jake just said it fine. It's a great facelift of mechanical updates that brought it into this generation. These are times pretty much.
Exactly. I think that's all they needed to do, though. I don't think, like you said, how can you change the formula that's been there and worked? Like you can't. Yeah, you can just remake the game and make it something completely different because then everyone's gonna hate it. So they're kind of limited. They kind of bat themselves in a corner in many ways, but also, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like, and you're just bringing in the same old maps. You're not bringing in new ones. You're not bringing in new weapons. You're not bringing in new. I mean, I don't know what else they're not bringing in, but I mean, they just need to bring those in more, which could be happening down the line. This could just be more of like, let's see, people are interested in the first place, and it seems like people are. And then from there, people who will be selling skins on the market all over again and making tons of money from it. So,
yeah, I think this is the happy medium that they had to hit. I honestly think they did a good job. I think if they you have a game that's peaking at like 1.5 million concurrent players and still rising, you can't fundamentally change it.
You can't.
I think this is a really good quality of life update. I think calling it CounterStrike 2 is a tiny bit misleading, but you could talk me into it because they're changing the engine, right? Like it's a complete engine upgrade. But the gameplay in the game is not changing much. So essentially what's changing for you guys that don't know is smokes work a lot different. Physical-based smoke works quite a bit different, which will change gameplay quite a bit. Smokes are huge.
Cool.
Smokes are huge in the higher levels of Counter-Strike.
You could like throw a grenade and it'll blow away the smoke.
And the bullet holes, holes kind of make holes in the smoke.
That was kind of cool. It was definitely, I mean, it's not realistic, but it's definitely a cool, mechanic. And that's what people thought, I guess, the next Counter-Strike would be a little bit more realistic, hardcore. Like, no, it's gonna be Counter-Strike.
Yeah, but they couldn't. I don't feel like they could have changed it much based on the success it's having now. And then you have 3 tiers of maps. So the old school ones, the competitive base maps that everyone likes, are called touchtone maps. They're only updating lighting. Then you have ones that are getting updated textures, and they're getting a little more work done to them, textures and lighting, and a few little changes. And then you have ones that are getting completely redone, reworked, changed, new assets, different placement, and stuff like that. So there's 3 different tiers of that. And then I think what they're also doing is they're setting things up for the future. I think they're setting the foundation and the groundwork up so they can make more updates as they go.
Right.
I could really see them based on their multi-million-dollar skin economy, real-world skin economy that they're doing without the blockchain. Oh, what? That you can buy and change skins and stuff. I think they'll probably add that. I would think they would add that to operator skins, and why not get more skins in the game? Because that's how they make it in their free-to-play games. The cosmetics have always been pretty on point with this. And then the other thing that is crazy, could be huge, and it's another thing that has a lot of potential, and I'm going to keep my eye on it, is the sub tick rate server updates. So they were alleged in the leaks.
That was one of the biggest things.
Yeah. So they were allegedly going to go up to 128 tick rate servers. What they're saying now is that the servers are even getting updates sub tick rate. So like instant updates, and the servers are supposed to feel way better and way less latency. And it's new technology where that information that normally gets lost in between ticks of a server is now there and gets interpolated. So it should feel a lot better, but yeah, this is a full overhaul map. So that's before.
Yeah, that looks.
And then
that's pretty impressive right there. It looks good.
Yeah, but also, I mean, what was it? Like if it plays on any, it takes moments. It plays on any PC still. Feels like, even with these upgraded maps and stuff like that. So like that's a huge plus for Counter-Strike for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, they would just be limiting their player base, right? Like they had what was the peak or the concurrent is like over 1 million. So if you had to get like the state-of-the-art graphics card, how many sales do you think they're gonna have?
They couldn't. So they couldn't change that. It needed to be accessible. And then they added new tools for Source 2. So their engine allows the modding community a lot quicker and easier ways to make maps. So you're getting user-generated content here too.
There you go.
So yeah, I get it.
I remember all those videos that were made in the Source engine. Just some of the best videos ever.
I definitely identify with the people who were like, that's all they're doing, because I always kind of was on the outside looking in on Counter-Strike because I didn't get on it at the beginning, and I see all these people playing it. It's like, maybe I should check it out. And then I heard CS2. I'm like, oh, it's going to be game changing enough with maps and things that I can get into it and not get my ass beat for months and months until I kind of figure it out. Wrong. It's going to still play the same. So I get why people are a little bit let down.
There are little things that have changed that people, even older veteran players, still need to get used to. But which I feel like even now, I would say there's no bad time to start playing Counter-Strike than now, to be honest.
Yeah, this is going to be the time to get in because there's going to be a lot of new players.
You have to learn it if you want to play it regardless. So,
and I did play it. I played a few hours of it over this last week for the first time, and it's a change, and it feels really old and dated. But I get why people like it. and it's along those lines of what I would want. I essentially want to build in the Fortnite Unreal editor a CounterStrike game with just traditional new shooting mechanics with the traditional ADS and updated movement.
Yeah.
But this game is about skill. It's about like hitting your shots and being in the right place. And that's it. There's no score streaks. There's no crazy operators with abilities. It's CTs versus Ts diffuse the bomb mode. And I would love that in the Unreal editor with updated everything.
That's one thing I do like about that. Yeah.
I want a CS:GO with like traditional FPS mechanics. And let's do it. That'd be my dream game. Like it's about skill. So I get why people like it. It's simple too. It's simple to understand. It's the best esports game too. I feel like if like
so many players, so many viewers.
Yeah, dude. I've tried to get people into watching Rainbow Six, and like it's so hard to follow around with so much shit going on. Like in this game, I feel like my dad, who's never played video games, could understand. Like this team's trying to plant a bomb, this team's trying to defuse it.
Right. Instead of having to explain like this specialist person can do this, they're doing this. Right. It's a lot more black and white. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Way easier. I think it's a great esports. Obviously, it's a great esports game. It pops off.
Yeah.
So, but I think they hit a happy medium in how much they could change without keeping it still CS:GO with all the success they've had recently and giving it meaningful updates. And I think it will allow them, from what I understand from reading different articles and stuff, it will allow them to update stuff easier for little incremental updates as they go, adding maps, adding skins potentially, and gameplay changes will be easier in the Source 2 engine.
Yeah, for sure. That's big. Support the game going forward.
I guess that's it. And this game actually doesn't have potential. It's actually just doing really good.
Yeah, I was going to say we don't have to say their slogan for this one.
All right. Well, is it time for the quick shot?
Quick shots.
Yeah. All right.
I need to
quick
make that
shots. Let's rock through it. The first one that I had to talk about was the Insurgency Sandstorm update. We talked a little bit about it at the beginning. I found some release notes. There's not a lot here, but the game's pretty old, and this is a free update, so quit your bitching. No. Operation Update 1.14 Operation Accolade release notes. There's a couple new games. I'm ready for New World Interactive to make a new game. I hope they announce a new game or something this season.
I'm surprised they came out with an update.
Yeah. I'm too.
They've been doing a really good job, though. I'm glad they.
It's only. It's 1.14, so it's it's not 2.0, but
right. I hope they come out with a new game. But they got new weapons coming out. The MDR, it looks really good. I tagged Buff on Twitter. I thought it looked awesome. So that's coming into the game, and then the SG-552 is coming in for the Insurgents.
Yeah, but the SIG 552 is what it is. Yep, that'll be good.
Man, I want to.
That's an old Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 3. I think it was a 552 or a 553. Yeah, it's essentially
553. I think it was. Yeah.
For the COD folks, it's the Grau 556. FYI, but yeah, it's a SIG 552, 553. That 550 series, good class of weapons.
Can you flip?
Yeah, and like the power or like the different locations for the points as well too on the maps.
How's a left-handed shooter supposed to shoot this MDR?
The MDR, so it's fully ambi.
It has ambi.
Yeah, you can convert it.
Yeah,
it's fully ambi. You can convert the side that the charging handles on, the ejection port, and all that. So it's
okay. Because I was gonna say
you'd love it.
As this gun sits now, it's racist. So against left-handed shooters. So
you're either
right-handed or wrong-handed. All right,
it's getting real. All right, blues are racist. Whatever. All right. The Scout gets
see you in the comments.
Yeah, I look forward to reading your comments. The Scouts get a new skin. It looks pretty good. What if you saw something like that in Call of Duty? You'd probably be like, "Oh, that's pretty sweet."
Yeah,
that's pretty legit. That seems kind of realistic.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Can't have that. see some new diffusal layouts on some of the maps, and it shows how they're going to look for the diffusal game mode, and then
Nice.
that's pretty much it. And then some bug fixes, but there's a lot of map updates for the diffusal game mode.
Yeah, usually I think if they're doing it the way they typically do the update rollouts, it looks like they released quite a bit already, but they usually do it day by day. They release more information every
they're
day.
They're gonna showcase it on March 30th on a live stream as well too. So, and that's at I think it actually says it down below at 11 MST Mountain Standard Time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
There's a Mountain Time?
Be paying attention to that.
Who lives in Mountain Time? Now I sound racist towards Mountain Time people.
Come on, Crash.
Get it together.
The Mountain Men.
Man. You just said men. You can't say that.
When you're out there killing bears with your bare hands, you're probably in Mountain Time, Crash.
Dude, I hate bears. Don't get me started on bears. I got a bear problem. Yeah. So that's that. That's everything coming out with that. But again, I was like Blue. I was surprised to see this because I'm expecting like any month now for New World Interactive to say what game's next, and I look forward to what it's going to be.
Never gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. You don't say that.
As long as it's another awesome Sandstorm title, I'm game.
I want it to be
Sandstorm 3.
I want it to be Insurgency, not Sandstorm. Like
Insurgency Modern
Reloaded
Warfare or something. Just give us.
So they get
this game is honestly one of my favorite FPS games of all time. This is a lot of fun, especially when you play with friends. Like Crash, I know you love the PvP aspect, like the bomb diffuser. Like this is your game. Honestly, you like the S&D stuff. This is If you haven't played it, this is it.
Yeah,
this is it. And then also,
they made it just for you, Crash.
The
diffusal mode isn't quite it.
When you play against, especially when you're on a team though and play against the bots though, like the bots are no joke, dude. You know, we've gone on the hard. Forgot what we would play the hardcore mode or something. I forgot what it was. I haven't played in a while, but I mean,
where it's like no HUD, slower movement.
Yeah, we would be. Yeah. There'd be like weeks. I think there's still one map we never have completed it. So like it's not easy. So people be like, oh, you're playing against bots, but like 99% of people won't make it through most of the map. So it's a challenging game, which I think is. That's what I love about gaming. Make it challenging. I'm happy. So that's a great game. Looking forward to that update and hopefully the next Sandstorm title.
Last time I played Sandstorm was for the Star Wars mod, which was actually really fun.
So the problem is with the diffusal mode, it's not a one life mode. So it's not quite.
Oh, you respawn.
There's like a limited amount of respawns.
Yeah, there's a couple different modes, and again, it's because I know Man and Nobody's in chat. He can probably correct me here, but there's a couple of different modes where some are one life modes for sure, but it's more of like Conquest almost. But Diffusal is the one we would play, and if you're dead, you're dead unless your team takes the objective, and then everyone comes back, but you don't have your gear, so you need to pick up weapons. So it's like the game you're asking for, but also with Conquest, kind of. But there's a couple different modes there that I think there is. I believe there is like a search and destroy mode that is one life. Unless I'm mistaken. Yeah,
there already is.
Rush,
yeah, it felt more like Rush than it did S&D.
There is an S&D. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's not an S&D. Maybe I'm thinking of Rainbow Six. I thought there was, but yeah. I don't know. You'd like it. I feel like if you got into it, you'd be like, this is it. This is the only thing I'm ever gonna play.
So we'll keep our eye on it.
Yeah, it has potential, guys. I think we'll keep an eye on it probably.
Would you like to talk about the next quick shot?
Quick shot.
What
is the next quick shot? To be honest,
World War III. Blue, take it away.
I feel like we need a longer version of this one, to be honest, because there definitely is a lot more coming out for
the initial impressions.
Yeah, initial impressions. Finally we get another damn game mode for World War III. If anyone doesn't know what FUBAR is coming out, it's basically a 20v20 infantry only game mode. So a lot of people were complaining that vehicles are OP. We would like a game mode without vehicles, and World War 3 was like, okay, here you go. This is it. The only vehicles that they have are like transport trucks that you can kind of like, you think you'll have like a driver, a passenger, and then people sitting in the back that can shoot out from like the bed of the truck. Then of course you got like your ATVs and Jeeps and stuff like that. But they're also bringing in a new revive mechanic, which is really nice. People,
Yep.
but people were also complaining. It's like, it's just a green bar. Like, I mean,
what do you want?
Do you want me to go through like combat, like trauma, procedures and stuff like that for you? Do you want me to go ahead and check for the external wound and stuff like that? Like,
they can always update that too. People forget like Tarkov used to be like, you would never apply bandages. It would be the same thing, a bar.
Yeah. So also we got some more information too that the Team Deathmatch Domination game mode is coming back as well too.
Leave it in.
It's gonna be a permanent game mode.
Nice.
So technically we're getting 2 game modes, which is amazing because the game needs it. And also the revive system is kind of like a look. Sorry, Chad, my bad, I said it the wrong way. See in the comments. Anyways, it's our first look into the game mode in September that's coming out called HVT, the high value target game mode. It's September, and they're because from what I think it's gonna be is like an old recon game mode, which was their battle royale objective game mode that if your squad dies you're done, but you have the ability to revive your team now. So it definitely, I'm curious how the revive system is going to work. Like if it's just going to be your squad, I hope it's not everyone on your team can be able to pick you up, because then I'm curious, like like in Battlefield you'll see like revive things everywhere if you're a medic. I hope it's not like that. I hope it's kind of just like, if you see like your squad mate on the ground, you pick them up. But if you take out the squad, then no one can get revived. I think that's the better way to go about it.
Yeah.
And also the cool thing about FUBAR, it's their biggest thing is called for I would say like the map wise is for Tokyo. That's finally coming out. That's been talked about since 2018.
Right.
So we're finally getting our hands on Tokyo on both a TDM map specifically for Shibuya, and then you have like Tokyo itself of like downtown Tokyo. And it's, I'm pretty sure you can play in both TAC Ops game mode, FUBAR game mode, and then I'm guessing the TDM mode will also be for Team Defense Domination. So there's definitely actually a good amount coming out for this game right now. It sucks we gotta wait until June for the next update. But I know there'll be little things coming in every now and then. And also the Deagle was originally in the last update was just like a blueprint that you can unlock, and now it's an actual unlockable secondary firearm that you can customize. And I've seen leaks of like the like they put like a marksman barrel on the Deagle, and it's just like this really long narrow barrel that makes it like a 9-inch barrel. It's weird.
I think that's like based on a real life
looks like an old
one.
musket almost. It looks like it needs to be smoothbore. It's hilarious.
IWI makes like a version of it that looks ridiculous. I'm curious if it's the same one.
Yeah, and then you'll be able to put like extended magazines, red dots, different grips. That's what I've always loved about World War 3 is the weapon customization.
Yeah. Beautiful.
It's great. And I love it. And I think the shooting in it, surprisingly, in this game is, I'm not saying one of the best, but it's definitely a great game to learn how to shoot. We'll just it comes out March 30th, and I will be live streaming then.
Beautiful.
Shout out.
I'm doing something in the background. So I'll be live streaming then. I don't know exactly what time it comes out, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with the game.
I think in about 2 or 3 years it'll have enough content. I'll be excited. Is that a dick thing to say?
To be honest, so yes. Okay. No, maybe. I don't know. It's weird because
like, what do you want?
Yes and no. It's definitely had multiple chances for sure. A buddy of mine, Crucial FPS, shout out to his channel. He was saying that it could have like this weird rise from the ashes moment by September of like people who gave up on it completely aren't coming back. We can't get those people back. But eventually, and I'm saying eventually because it's gonna happen, when it comes to console,
oh, it's gonna be huge, dude.
It's gonna be a huge game. And
like, I'm not playing it right now because it's PC. Yeah, and I don't want to play it on PC.
I don't think it'll make it to console.
I don't know. They've been teasing it for a while. I don't
know. It's also because then my games left or they didn't leave, but they did. And then they also have, wishlist games, which is a whole different scenario. But again, they basically, I would consider this game more of like two different eras. But we'll just have to.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Wait and see.
We'll see. I really hope I'm wrong, but I don't think it'll get to console.
I hope it does do well. I think the team deserves it. I know the devs get a lot of hate.
Not for me.
And I've seen plenty of people that just shit on the devs.
No, that's not the devs' fault. I wouldn't do that. I just think building a game like this is a massive undertaking. Like
it is.
To build a multiplayer game with destruction and all the weapon mods and stuff they have and like all the aspects, it's insane. Yeah. And to do it with a small team and just crazy amount of work.
Yeah.
And,
what was it like? I actually just got DM'd real quick. One of the main devs for the game works on like mainly the weapons. Machina answered a question because like this game's advertising and marketing campaign sucks. The way they market the game, the way they don't talk about the game as much, they kind of just sit in the shadows. Doesn't really sit well with a lot of people. It doesn't sit well with me.
Right.
But I feel like the game's not ready to be marketed properly.
Thing. Yeah.
And I think it will be. I have a feeling it will be soon. Well,
I hope so.
Again, I say if people really want to come back to World War III, I say come back in September. Until then, there's plenty of other games to play for sure. So
yeah.
Walking Out does an awesome job. Dude, the weapons are like so good.
I love
it. I love the weapon mechanics, the recoil. It's they quote unquote playable realism.
Mm-hmm.
So
the only thing I'd like to see is the eventually some of the gunshot sounds a little bit revamped.
They
did a revamp, and I think it definitely needs another one for sure.
Yeah, the audio,
which is weird because they had like in the beginning back in like 2018, they had all these like behind the scenes of like them going to the range and stuff like that.
Yeah, what happened to all that? Because some of the guns
I don't know where those sound files went. Like they all changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the guns sound the same, like similar calibers. But I'm excited for that revive system though a lot too. I think you'll be able to shoot maybe your pistol when you're down too. I'm kind of curious if that's gonna
be pretty sweet.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, it looks good. I've always been a huge fan of World War III, so I'll wait for I'll probably at some point. I still have it on PC. I'll jump in and play again at some point, but I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that console release by
PC Master Race. I'm gonna get Buff to sell his consoles and play on PC with me.
Oh man, maybe someday. Man.
So many more games you can play.
I agree. I gotta have somebody help me build one though, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You would think
I would. We got you, man. We got you. I literally I built my PC twice.
Yeah, I'm gonna need.
Does not
see now that I know you guys, I'll get your help on it. Before
I probably built
I did my
5 or 6
I didn't know what I was doing.
Well,
I'm surrounded by pros though.
Yeah, 5 or 6 of them I built for me and my friends and stuff. And yeah, it's fun. Well, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on World War III as well. I kind of was joking, but I'm kind of not. If they're getting like a couple maps a year in like 2 or 3 years, I'm gonna be so down to play that game because it's getting to the point for me as someone who played it a lot in 2018. It's getting to the point where it's really going to be good and playable, but it just needs maps. And if they trickle them out, eventually it'll get to a point where it's going to be a game that's right up my alley.
Wait till September.
It's got a lot of really cool stuff to it.
I think you're right with what you said though. Blue, is you're gonna have like a whole new audience come in eventually once the game is in that.
That's what happened with Warface.
Yep, exactly.
There's a lot of games that have done that. That have come
Warface
back.
completely. I mean, they completely left, you know, the game space for a long time, and then they came back and huge.
Yep. Oh yeah, Buff, you could build a PC though. Yeah. They have it. It's pretty much like Legos now, and you almost can't plug stuff in the wrong place because it's all.
It is a lot of play. I mean, it's like Legos for adults. A lot of plug and play. Just follow the instructions. But we got you. We got you.
Yep. All right. Next.
Quick shot.
Quick shot. Blue sent me this, and I have no idea what's going on with it. It's a Deadside tweet. Tell me what am I looking at here, Blue?
To be honest, I've heard different things. So I was talking to Loaf, who's one of the community managers. He was a content creator turned game dev turned community manager and game dev, mainly for the weapons. But he has a good feeling about if the next close test server playthroughs go well. It should be the next update with the 2 new islands should be coming out, and the fact that they're showcasing this, which means hopefully the last playtest went well. And for a while ago, they mentioned in one of the on their website, on their like official Deadside wiki, I think it was actually, that there's a 3rd faction coming to the game, which are cannibals. So you have like your military security forces, you have like your bandits and stuff like that, and now you'll have cannibals coming to the island. I think this is one of those effigies to showcase. I can't tell what those 2 things are, if those are like brains on the sides, but I like looking in the comments. They were like, "Is that meat?" And then the Deadside Twitter like commented with like a smiley face. So, I'm a big fan of open world survival games, and Deadside still is in the works, but I have a really good feeling about this next coming update. I don't think they're going to be introducing that faction just yet. I think they're just world building right now. But as for Deadside, I've always enjoyed it. I always like the look of it. I know a lot of people complain about the shooting in it, but once you get used to it, there's a reason why your character kind of wobbles as he shoots. Because he's not what was it like? I think he was talking about it. It's like you're not a tier 1 operator. You're kind of just a survivor, just on an island. So there's more world building coming to the game, which I'm always a fan of that. In my opinion, I'm always a fan of world building in open world survival games. Really makes me feel immersed within it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just a lot of people are talking about that it could be the first signs of the cannibals coming to the game, which then I made a video about it in fact, I keep getting comments to this day that people thought it was a real cannibal in the game. Like, oh, when did they add those guys in? I was like, no, that was just, I had a buddy just act and pretend he was eating flesh. It was funny, but
yeah.
And that's pretty much it with Deadside though.
Deadside's a pretty cool game. I played it back in the day.
I like Warzone.
Yeah.
What's this Moonfall thing? Is it
Now that is very interesting.
Is it? There's nothing in this. All right, it's the next.
So I mean, yeah. Oh,
Make it a visual.
I was excited to talk about it. I'm a big fan of like the SCP universe. Someone in my Discord made a really funny joke. Thor was like, "Oh shit, Moon taunted again, boys. Racks around." Because they put out a video, Afraid Interactive, for their SCP 5K game, and it's I still don't know exactly what it is, because they talk about it a little bit in their comments of like, apparently you will notably, it'll be very notable in their, because they have 2 game modes mainly there. They have their Area 12 story mode, and then they have their Outpost like hunt game mode, which I heard it's supposed to be like PvP with NPCs, but then there's going to be all kinds of cool stuff coming in. And now like you'll see, I'm guessing the moon from the ground, it might look like it's cracking, or there's red lava coming out from the moon and stuff like that. So there's definitely more narrative elements coming. And they say stay tuned for a next devlog coming out. What was it? What was it? SCP-5K in general is probably one of the coolest. I mean, it's probably the only tactical SCP game out right now that has great weapon mechanics, weapon models, weapon animations.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks great. And then I did some research on like the SCP actually being, or the moon actually being an SCP. So like, if people don't know what SCP stands for, it's like secure, contain, protect, and it's like a whole foundation. And it's usually like fan made stuff. But the team at Affray Interactive, first of all, SCP-5K is based off a story that someone made, and they got the rights to use that story and like actually go more into it. But then SCP-4220, which is the moon, is apparently they talk about the moon being hollow and the space race and stuff like that. So like, you know, like if you watch the video, there's like some voice in the background talking, you know, just like screaming and stuff like that when the moon starts catching on fire and stuff like that. It's freaking insane. I don't know if we'll be going to the moon in SCP-5K. I don't know if they're that ready for it yet, but I'm a big fan of the game itself, and I recently went back into the game, and I will be actually later tonight with like a team of like infiltrating and stuff like that. And there's definitely work that needs to be done. It's a very small team, like it is not at all AAA whatsoever. So it's gonna take a minute.
You're right. It's a really small team. Like how many though? Because I remember
less than 10. I feel like
that's what I thought. Yeah, it's really tiny, but they do
very small.
They do great work for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a quick teaser that they put out, looking more into it of like what the moon of it being an actual SCP. I mean, then again, like everything is an SCP. Even Garfield the cat is an SCP apparently. So,
I have no idea what anyone's talking about.
Oh man, I feel like SCPs are very. It's like creepypasta level, where it's like if you don't know about it, you gotta really do some research.
Right.
Actually, someone brought up like the SCP Overlord movie, or like I forgot the actual YouTube channel that does it, but it's like there's 2 SCP videos that came out, and those are really cool. So, I'm excited to see.
Exactly, and I think you've covered some of the gun stuff on your channel too, Blue. Like dude, you had that Mark. I went back and watched that Mark 17 video that you did a couple months back.
It looks so good, and it's even better now because now they have a couple different more weapons. Like you know, I think they brought like the M9A3, so it's all tan now, which I'm a big fan of. They brought in God, what was it? Like different variations of the AK a while ago, and then they also brought in the 5.7. They brought in motherfucker. I just saw that face.
What's his name again?
Blood Pop.
What's his name again?
Blood Pop. Oh yeah.
He's my changing the game. Yeah. No. What was it? It just all of it is so cool. That's probably the best part of the game, in my opinion, is the weapon animations. So.
Yeah, it's amazing for sure. I love it.
Yeah. Also, it's just the SCP universe. I mean, fighting against monsters, and eventually you're gonna fight against like weird just things. I don't know. Have you tried it out yet, Crash?
I've never heard of it until just now.
You never played SCP-5K? I feel like we need to sit down one day, all of us.
I don't even know what language you're speaking right now.
we need to play it, and
sounds like Rainbow Six Extraction.
Oh, dude, way better though. Way better.
It's definitely yeah. You'll see things that you never could ever imagine.
Exactly.
And then you'll look at something that you can't ever unlook at. So, and you'll find out what that is.
Sounds too scary.
it's not, to be honest, it's not as scary when you're with friends because I'm usually just making jokes the entire time. But I think I have a feeling you should try it out. You should try it out.
Okay, you say so.
Also, I think they recently said something about they were like on Humble Bundle. They've been doing very well for themselves.
Nice. Are we
the player count sucks, but that's whatever. All right, yeah, we're good.
Sorry. No, I don't. Yeah, go ahead. I'm learning like everybody else listening about all this stuff. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Time for the last quick shot.
Boom.
Buff, you're up. You sent this Twitter link to me about these weapon leaks for COD.
Yes. Yep. Some weapon leaks from Call of Duty. It was just found in some of the game files. So what it means, who knows? It could mean nothing. Could just be stuff thrown in there. But some people, Game Over on Twitter, tagged me in this. I think I don't know if he's still in chat here, but basically looking at some of the weapons. Some people were saying the FAMAS was the original post from Task Force Leakers 141, saying the FAMAS is back, but it looks like the FAMAS is actually, you have the in-game codes like IW9 AR Halima, which everyone's saying, and it sounds to be right, is the AR category instead of Halima. It's, in real life would be the Helion or the VHS2. So another bullpup weapon similar to the FAMAS. You get a lot of people that don't know specifics for these firearms would think it was a FAMAS. But yeah, there's things like Game Over kind of like took his best guess at things. I haven't really looked at the list thoroughly enough outside of what Game Over did. But it looks like the Spear, the MCX Spear, the new 6.8 by 51 NGSW weapon there from Sig Sauer. You got the Tango 9 or the Tech 9, the APC 45. The WA 2000, which is a sniper rifle from original Modern Warfare 2, I think it was. And then there's some other ones like the Tavor TS12 shotgun potentially, and the APC 9, and there's some other ones in here that I'll have to look at.
Isn't APC 9 like the new like Army SMG?
Yep. The APC 9 it was actually in Modern Warfare 2019, so it's they actually adopted it, I think 2019. I think it was.
They actually did.
As the new SMG. Pretty sure. Maybe they didn't formally adopt it, but it was. Last I heard, I thought they did adopt it, but who knows? So yeah, the APC 9. But yeah, there's some good stuff there. So I'll have to look at the full list and see if there's anything else there. But does this mean all these weapons are coming to the game this year or not? No, I don't think so. I'm not sure where all this code came from. If it came from the game files for Modern Warfare 2, or if it's new stuff taken out of COD Mobile. Not sure, but should be interesting. At least I think the one I'm most excited about there is the Helion or the VHS2. There should be good if that is what it is and it does in fact come. But we thought different weapons were coming for season 2, and they swerved us. So
I actually kind of want that rifle, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
because I love the fact. Dude, I love that it's like beautiful. It's still 16 inches, but it's in the compact variant. So ATF can't do nothing about it.
Yep, it's great.
Yeah.
The overall length. Son of a bitch.
The ATF's always like, oh, looks like somebody's having too much fun over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't have that.
Come in and ruin it all, man.
Yep. No, cool. Keep an eye on all that stuff. We're keeping eyes. We have so many eyes out.
We're keeping a lot of eyes out.
Yeah.
Thanks to you guys as well too in the community.
I'm absolutely excited for the MCX as well. It's a cool gun.
Yeah, the Spear should be really nice for sure.
I think that's it. Did you guys have anything else?
I did not. That's all I had on my end.
Got potential. We'll keep an eye on it. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
You're gonna put that on my gravestone when I die.
It had potential, and we kept an eye on it.
Yep. No, guys, that was an awesome show. We got through a lot of info. It was fun.
We did.
That was a lot.
Really good show.
Yeah.
Road to Vostok, shout out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm probably not supposed to say anything, but
I'm excited to play the next one. I recently went back into it and I was like, I can't wait.
Yeah. Thanks for popping in, Road to Vostok. The changes making to that demo too are gonna be really cool. And There's allegedly, I may or may not know some information about another interview from another creator coming out.
Oh snap!
I'm excited. I'm excited to watch that. We'll have to share it on here.
All right, guys.
That's it. All right. Real quickly, thank you so much to everyone across all the channels for tuning in, hanging out with us. Again, if you miss it, if you're on the go and want an audio only version, links to all that are in the description. Click on that link and then you can click listen on and take you to the platform of your choice where you can find the podcast. I think it's to the point now where you can honestly search the Scope FPS podcast on any app, and you should be able to find it podcast wise. Again, just added Amazon Music to the platform list, so it's even on there. Google Podcast, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, a bunch of weird ones. So you should be able to find it.
All of it.
I try to put it wherever I can because who knows? Somebody might stumble across it. We appreciate you so much for downloading that each week. Thanks to everybody for tuning in live. Thank you to everybody who watches it later on YouTube. Incredibly kind of you. And again, if you want to support, all we ask, keep your wallets in your pockets. Just be a friend, tell a friend, bring somebody with you next week, and we'll meet you here on Monday evening. Thanks, Buff and Blue. It's fun, man. Min.
Absolutely.
100%. Thank you to everyone's chat, by the way, coming in saying hi. It's my first time restreaming, so everyone in Bub's chat, Crash's chat, my chat, thank you guys for watching. It really helps a lot.
We love it.
Absolutely. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Have a good week.
Bye.